This time I will call this regular meeting of the Port Lavaca City Council to order on this Monday, March 11th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. I would ask everyone to please rise. Brian's Councilman Ward, can you deliver a short invocation for us?
Sure. Father, we come before you now, seeking your will and your direction and your guidance by your Holy Spirit. Lord, I pray that the decisions that we make here will be for the betterment of the city and for the county and the people in it. Lord, just ask that you continue to protect this area, this nation from those that might seek to undermine it. And we pray all these things, Father, in Jesus Christ's name and for his sake. And I give you the praise and honor and glory, Father, and I thank you for hearing our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledges of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag, honor.
As a Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
My first duty before starting a meeting, I will ask now if there's anyone here that wishes to address council on an item that's not on the agenda. So now is your time to speak. Have no one signed up and no one has come forward, so we will then move on. And first order of business will be a proclamation. And a proclamation today for Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I would ask before we begin, Maria Walton with the local harbor group Protection of Children to come forward. She wants to make a statement before we deliver the proclamation.
Good evening. The Harbor Children's Alliance and Victim Center is one of 70 child advocacy centers in the state of Texas. The Child Advocacy Center is a nonprofit that serves as a first stop for children that have experienced sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, or witness of a violent crime. Abuse and violence against children disrupts a time of growth with trauma that can last a lifetime. Last year, the Harbor Children's Alliance and Victim Center conducted 92 forensic interviews and provided 1,173 counseling sessions to victims of abuse and the non-offending family members. So as you can see, this issue doesn't just affect the children, it affects the whole family and in turn, the entire community. So we're coming to you today to ask you to help us end child abuse by proclaiming April as Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month.
Thank you, Maria. Let me go ahead and present the proclamation, and I'll come down and present it to you and have a photo op there for local press people. All right. Whereas child abuse prevention is a community problem and finding solutions depends on involvement among people throughout the community. And whereas statistics of children who are abused and neglected escalate each year, and whereas the effects of child abuse are felt by the whole community and it needs to be addressed by the entire community. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among social service agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas youth serving prevention programs offer positive alternatives for young people and encourage youth to develop strong ties to their community. And whereas all citizens should become more aware of child abuse and its prevention within the community and to become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Port Lavaca, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in all Calhoun County. And I urge all citizens of Calhoun County this month by joining together as a county to promote the safety and well-being of all children and families and to recognize the child welfare professionals and allies who work tirelessly to protect our children. Witness my hand in the great seal of the City of Port Lavaca. This is the 11th day of March 2024. can do a photo op on this, and if you want, would you like our council members to sign it also, or you,
If they're available.
do y'all want us to go ahead and sign on to the?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That this time.
Yeah, it just was, getting them signing it.
Mary Chase.
I'm not on there. I left me on. That's what I did. There. That's.
Your chair.
Okay, you know that, or I'll go sit down. Presentation.
Well, okay, well,
No, stand in front is what.
Yeah, y'all just stand in front, I'm gonna get back, we're doing. photo ops in this chair. Thank you, Maria.
And everyone crowd in up there to get around him.
Get like behind. Or in here in the.
We have that.
Y'all come in here.
He wants just one.
We'll do one just like that and then.
Okay.
I don't know if we're all gonna fit.
Yeah, either. Like I want to like sweat. I don't want, I'm gonna block sitting in there.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
I could stand up, but then.
Should I go back there? I was gonna get, should we go back behind you? So you can be.
Well, I thought I might be out of the picture completely if I stand.
One, two.
That work?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. I know what.
Yeah.
Abuse prevention.
Wonderful job.
There's also some pins for child abuse prevention month. There. Let's see. Thank you so much. Allowing us to come present to you.
Everything that you all have.
Y'all made it. Yeah, thank you.
Our city and county known for our efforts in child abuse prevention.
That's nice.
Yeah, we're known statewide for great program. Okay. We'll move on to our regular agenda. And first with our consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the February 2024 regular meeting, the minutes of the February 2024 special meeting and workshop, a review of our credit card statement, receiving our monthly financial highlight report, receiving the Economic Development Corporation's monthly report, and ratifying Prestige Oyster Incorporated's lease at City Harbor Tract 10.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes. Okay, we move to our action items. Agenda item number 1. Consider first and final reading of an ordinance S-1-24 authorizing the issuance of City of Port Lavaca Combination Tax and Revenue Certificates of Obligation Series 2024, authorizing the sale thereof and enacting provisions incident and related to the issuance of said certificates. Jody?
Mayor Council, I'd like to invite Dusty Traylor with RBC Capital and Greg Miller with Bickerstaff to come and do a presentation on what we're doing here this evening regarding RCOs. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, we've got some good news.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Again, for the record, Dusty Trailer with RBC Capital Markets. And as Jody said, I believe we have some good news. As we were here in early January, the city provided the notice of intent to issue the certificates of obligation. And even prior to that date, we were working very closely with Jody and your staff. And since then, we've been working very closely with Jody, your staff, Mr. Miller and his team as we prepared the preliminary official statement for the offering of the certificates of obligation, visiting with S&P to provide the bond rating on the COs. And so once all that was completed and we were able to get the offering document posted, we were able to be out in the market today to sell the COs. The all-in interest rate on those COs is a 3.88%. When we ran our numbers, when we were running our preliminary numbers and estimates to be conservative, we were running kind of in the upper fours just to make sure that we didn't undershoot the interest rate. So we are well below those projections on the interest rate. And that translates really into significant dollars and cents for the city over the life of the COs. Also want to point out that the city's bond rating, you have a AA- bond rating from Standard & Poor's, which is nothing to sneeze about for a city the size of Port Lavaca. That rating was affirmed. Obviously, they give great consideration to the city's strong and healthy reserve funds and the way you guys go about operating your business. So that AA- rating goes a long ways towards accomplishing what we accomplished today, having good market acceptance for these COs out there. We're going to be, if you'll turn with me to page number 3 of the presentation, we present the sources and uses of the COs. The sources and uses demonstrate we're actually selling bonds that have a stated principal amount of $13,040,000. But we will be depositing $14 million to the city's project account. That is due to the premium that the investors paid for the CO. So there's a net premium of about $1.178 million that goes into the overall offering. And so you'll be receiving $14 million into your project fund.
Good.
We anticipate closing on the COs. Gregory's going to be working very quickly to get the transaction through the Texas Attorney General's office. We anticipate closing to occur on March the 28th. That's when you should receive the funding into the city's bank account. Okay. So if we'll turn with me over to page number 4, on page 4, we've got a combined debt service schedule for the city. What I really want to point out here are the columns that are sort of in the middle here, where we show the annual principal payments of these COs, the annual interest payments, and then the total debt service payment on these COs. You'll notice these COs carry an annual debt service of approximately $1,020,000. When we were running our initial estimates on a $14 million transaction, we were estimating those to cost the city about $1.125 million. So the annual debt service is about $100,000 per year less than what we had anticipated. And so over the life of the transaction, that's going to translate into over $2 million lower debt service for the city of Port Lavaca than what we'd estimated on this transaction as well. So all in all, I feel like it was great market acceptance of the COs, great timing to be in the market. And of course, the way you guys go about conducting your business here at the city really helps that to go a long way. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I know Gregory is also here. Gregory Miller, your bond counsel, is here to answer any questions as it relates to the legal side of the issuance of the COs.
That was good news, Dusty. That goes a long way to helping us to keep our tax rate down also. We were worried, we were right on the, having to raise a little bit, but
Right.
I think now it kind of calmed our fears
I
down.
think it ought to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add. Dusty has all the good stuff y'all want to know about, but if you have any questions about the ordinance, let me know. It contains your obligations for tax and securities laws. And from here, we're gonna take the transcript and run it through the AG's office for a closing on the 28th.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very well. Appreciate you all.
So, yeah, we just have
Thank
to
Thank you.
approve the ordinance.
We want the motion on this one.
Approve the first and final reading of ordinance. That's one.
I make a motion, we accept this first and final reading. Authorizing the issuance of city of Lavaca, Texas, combination tax and revenue certificates of obligation, series 2024.
I'll second it. Okay, so we have a motion and a second approving the first and final reading of ordinance number S-1. Authorizing the issuance of the city of Lavaca combination tax and revenue certification series 2024. And authorizing the sale thereof and enacting provisions incident related to the issuance of said certificates. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And none opposed. Motion passes.
Right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just try to, long way to up our future out here. All right, we will now move to agenda item number 2, consider request of the Texas Funeral Associates for use of the Bayfront Peninsula Park, including the large pavilion for an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, March 30th, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and also a request to waive the fees associated with the event. Tanya, there you are.
I'm here. I was just in the back. Texas Funeral Associates and several businesses would like to utilize the left area when you come down the hill, left area of the peninsula for an Easter egg hunt. They want to do hot dogs. They're opening it to the community, buying thousands and thousands of eggs, and would like approval to do that.
More power to them. Hope they advertise it well. I think there's a lot of people in town that want to take their kids somewhere to have a little fun that day.
Right, and the YMCA has one in the morning. We don't feel like this will conflict. There's been years past where 2 groups have done egg hunts and they've both been successful.
They've done that before?
I'm sorry, what?
They've done this before?
This group has not, they have, Parkway Church used to do it, and this is several members from that church that still would like to do it. I've talked to the YMCA and they remembered when both did it, they didn't have a problem with it. And
And we're requesting a waiver of,
the pavilion rental fee to hand out the hot dogs.
So moved. Second it.
Right. We have a motion and a second approving the request of the Texas Funeral Associates for use of the Bayfront Peninsula Park for their Easter egg hunt on Saturday, March 30th, 2024, from 1 to 4 p.m. as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes. And Mandy, that does include the waiver of the fees. All right, we'll move to agenda item number 3, consider amendment to city council approved agenda item number 3 at the regular scheduled meeting on February 12th, 2024 regarding closure of Main Street between Virginia and Commerce Street for the Iguana Fest event, revising the beginning time of 6 a.m. Saturday, April 6th, 2024 to the beginning at 12:01 a.m. Tanya?
Mayor, council, this was typically, we close the streets at 6 a.m. We put in our request for the same thing. We didn't realize the logistics that all the stages going to people that are in the path of the total eclipse. There's stages going all over Texas. And in order to get our stage here, they have to come in earlier. And so this request is to back up our time to get our stage in and actually have it here. It doesn't change the ending time. They're basically gonna get this one in place and then go off to the next one.
Next one.
and TxDOT was already approved.
Yeah, TxDOT is already approved for the entire day. We actually have the text dot approval starting at 12:01 AM till noon on Sunday. We typically don't use all of that.
I'll make a motion. April 8th is the eclipse date.
Yes, but there are people are having festivals and events leading up to it the weekend before.
So I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the closure of the Main Street starting at 6 AM on Saturday, April the 6th.
No,
Second.
12:01.
Oh, 12:01.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway, I'm still good with it.
Whatever 10 you need. All right. We have a motion. We do have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second amending the city council's approval of agenda item number 3 at the regular scheduled meeting on February 12, 2024 regarding the closure of Main Street between Virginia and Commerce Street for the Iguana Fest, revising the beginning time of 6 AM Saturday, April 6, 2024 to the beginning time at 12:01 AM. As presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? You're not opposed, motion passes. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 5, receive certificate of city secretary that candidates for the council member at
Number 4.
4. I'm in a hurry to get the elections.
You're in.
Number 4? Yeah, okay. We'll get to me later. We're gonna do flip flop first. Consider recommendation of the Fort Lavaca Events Committee to discontinue the annual flip flop event and reallocate the budgeted funds. Dania?
Okay, this is a big one, and this recommendation does not come lightly. It's something that I've thought for a good while, and apparently there are a lot of people that agree with this. Flip flop, we put a lot of money towards a big event. In order to bring in the number of people we need to, we have to have big bands. Get big bands here, we get lots of people we don't have the hotels for. And so it's kind of a catch-22. And then for the past, really since 2018, that I've been heavily involved, we have the weather issues. We've had hurricanes, we've had rain, and it's a lot of money to have something like that affected. When we have rain insurance, the year of Harvey, it rained, we had boats in the park, we had everything in the park. But our insurance didn't cover it because it didn't rain on Saturday. And so it's a lot of money at risk, and we feel like a more fiscally responsible answer would be to divvy up some of that money, move it over to special events, expand our summer concert series to give people that are here and in our hotels something to do throughout the summer. We also have been eyeing a birding festival, and there's been some big committee meetings on that. There's a lot of interest in a birding festival in this community. And that's what we do. That's who, we have birds, we have fish. We want to focus on that. People come here to fish. They come here to bird. They don't come here necessarily to drink beer and listen to a big band. We're hard to get to. So you have to have a really good reason to come here. And we want to give them some reasons to come here that maybe better align with our makeup.
Want to share with them the members of the committee who's on the
Members of the committee,
committee?
myself, Jasmine is our chamber representative. Christine Pena is our hotel representative. Desiree Spears, she is our business member at large in the community. And then Shelley Bartels is our Main Street member. And so that's kind of the makeup. And all of us agree. Shelley was the only sort of little holdout. And she said it's an emotional connection. It's not it makes sense connection. We think the funds could be better utilized, by car shows, the summer concert series, fishing tournaments, a birding festival. And
Tim McFarland is really pushing the birding festival, and We have several other people, master naturalists around the state. We have 3 or 4 of those on the committee that want to have it. And it's apparently a big thing. We had a discussion at our last meeting. The Audubon Society sent some the Texas Audubon sent some representatives down to. They're excited about us doing an event also. And I think that would bring in more people and economically be a much better fit for the city of Port Lavaca. And
But it's interesting that I've already had a few inquiries regarding summer activities, what's going to be happening during the summer weekly or whatever. Because the locals really can get into that. And I think that's something that we can benefit from.
And the concert series.
The concert series, we want to run the concert series rather than start it after July 4th. We want to run it all summer long.
due to scheduling, a birding festival at the earliest would be next March.
Would be next one.
Yeah, that's,
Looking for it about the same time as the flip flop and for Labor Day, but that isn't gonna work. And
that wasn't what was recommended.
birding is much better late
Late March.
March, yeah.
And
It's a good idea. I think we should, I would make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the events committee to discontinue it.
Second.
And reallocate the budget.
And to reallocate the money, yes.
We have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation of the Port Lavaca Events Committee to discontinue the annual flip flop event and reallocate the budgeted funds as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes.
I think it's a good idea, just, kind of putting the focus on our natural resources and things that we have here. So thank you very much, Ms. French.
my brain is happy. My heart is a little sad just because. But it is fast. Thank you.
20 years of flip flopping and getting close.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a.
Been a while.
Well, it was actually started before Scotty, the chamber had made the decision to not do it anymore. And that's when the city came over.
Not quite, getting close.
It's been Bay Days, it's been C something.
Fest.
Seafest, and none of them have worked.
We're gonna go with what we are.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, looking at the agenda, we have Jay Cuellar here with Seadrift Coke. So I'm gonna move, we have a supplemental agenda item. I'm gonna move that up to here at this time. That down, agenda item 19, supplemental item. Consider approval of letter of support for Seadrift Coke's application for a bipartisan infrastructure law, battery materials processing and battery manufacturing grant for its expansion, fully operating petroleum needle coke facility project to take any action deemed necessary. Jody?
Jay Quaylar is here with Cedar Coke. You can tell us a little bit about this project, which looks like it's bring at least 20 new permanent jobs to Calhoun County, and they're asking for our written letter of support for the project.
Yeah, this is real preliminary. We're really working, trying to get the grant. This is a Department of Energy grant. And we're looking at the grant to pay for part of the expansion of Secret Cove. Makes it a very financially feasible project if we can get a grant. So the idea is that we will start supporting providing petroleum needle coke to the battery markets for EV, electric vehicle battery manufacturing. There's only 2 spots in the US that produce petroleum needle coke. It's us in Lake Charles, and it's our competition in Lake Charles. So the market for petroleum needle coke is pretty much eaten up by electrode manufacture for the steel industry. That's what we do the most of. But we're starting to get into, trying to get into the market for battery materials. And so this grant falls into the Department of Energy funds, and we're working on that to try to get that. So a letter of support. The idea is one of the contributions that we're going to make is drive towards supporting disadvantaged communities. Calhoun County, we've got 3. And in the Golden Crescent, we have 23, or in the Golden Crescent, 23 different disadvantaged communities. Our goal is to set up some apprenticeships and start hiring people from the disadvantaged communities and driving it with the apprenticeships. We've never done apprenticeships at Cedar of Coke, so it'd be a new thing for us. And we'd be looking at roughly 20 jobs to start off with. The construction jobs would be way up more than that. But this thing is, we'll know in August, September, whether or not we get the grant. And from there, we'll go on. But we would appreciate the council's support for the grant application. And we'll go from there.
Motion, we support the Cedar of Coke with the letter of support.
Second. Copy of,
Hey, Mr. Coryell.
in your packet. Right. Thank you, Jay. And it is important that we support them. I think it'll be very successful. The DOE has been very interested in our region. We have the new nuclear power plant coming in at Dow, the DOE is interested in. Also the rare earth metal plant coming just down from you on closer to Seadrift. So I think it's a no-brainer to apply for this. Hopefully you'll be very successful. All right, so we have a motion and a second approving the letter of support. The Seadrift Coke
Agenda, grant application.
It's a supplemental. Yeah.
Oh, I lost the paper. Pick my thumb out. Oh. Here it is. I got it. Letter of support for the bipartisan infrastructure law bill, battery materials processing and battery manufacturing grant. For its expansion of the fully operating petroleum needle coke facility project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Letter of support is.
We'll get that email to you tomorrow.
And email it to
Yeah.
us. Get it out tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank
We
you,
might be
Jane.
able, not be able to get it tonight yet.
We have so much going on in our community, it's hard to keep track of everything. Got a lot of industry looking at us and a lot of industry coming in the near future. Right, now we can get to my favorite, agenda item number 5, receive certification of city secretary that the candidates for council member at large, mayor's position and single district 2 in the May 4th, 2024 general officers election are unopposed.
Mayor, council, this is to certify that the mayor and District 2 are unopposed, and also to certify that there is no proposition to appear on the ballot for the May 4th, 2024 election. No person has made a declaration of write-in candidacy, and they are unopposed. So we don't need any action on this. That's just to certify. No action is needed.
So noted. And then we can move on to agenda item number 6, consider adopting an order canceling part of the May 24 general officers elections, specifically the city council member at large mayor position and the single district number 2 position, and declaring unopposed candidates Jack Whitlow and Tim Dent duly elected as council members.
Mayor, council, it's exactly what the mayor said. This is an order canceling part of the election, since there are no propositions, no writing candidacy for the mayor's position, and Tim Dent's District 2 is unopposed. So we will hold an election only for District 6, which will be Ken Barr and
Justin Barr.
Justin Park. So I do need a motion on this one.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second approving the adoption of an order canceling the May 4th, 24 general officers election, specifically council member at large mayor position and the single district number 2 position, and declaring unopposed candidate that will attend that duly elected. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes. Thank you all very much. Kim and I appreciate it. Don't know that that will save us a whole lot of money, but a little bit.
Yeah.
Ballots anyway. Right, we'll move to agenda item number 7, consider resolution number R-03-1124-1E of the city of Port Lavaca to appoint election judges for the city's general officers election held on the uniform date of May 4th, 2024. Mandy?
Yes, Mayor, council, these will be the same judges that worked our election last year. We have Agustin Rojas Jr. as a presiding judge, Janie Delgado as the alternate judge, Michael Moeller as a presiding judge for the early voting ballot board at the Central Counting Station, and Mary Lou Tharlin as an alternate judge for the early voting ballot board and the Central Counting Station. They worked very well last year, and my recommendation is that you approve. And also, the compensation at an hourly rate of $12 for the early voting clerks. The judges will get $12. The election clerks will get $11. Two main things that I'm asking.
Is that $12 for the day or $12? I was gonna say.
For the judges. Yeah.
Now you're gonna sit there for $12. Sit there for 12.
Okay, need a motion approving the resolution?
So moved. Second. Made it.
Right, we have a motion and a second approving resolution number R-03-1124-1E of the city of Port Lavaca to appoint election judges for the city's general officers election held on the uniform date of May 4th, 2024, as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. All right, we move then to agenda item number 8, consider resolution number R-03-1124-2 of the city of Port Lavaca declaring April
2024.
as 2024 Fair Housing Month. Cody?
Yeah, Mayor Council, in your packet is a resolution. This is, April is considered nationwide as Fair Housing Month. And we're asking this resolution be approved, declaring April 2024 as Fair Housing Month in Port Lavaca. This is a requirement of all of our federal grant projects that we have. But we also think it's a good thing that we want to publicize this fair housing and provide information of interest to the community, particularly during that month.
Make a motion that we approve the resolution R-03-1124-2, April 2024 Fair Housing Month. Second.
We have a motion and a second approving resolution number R-03-1124-2. Sorry, I was on the wrong line. The city of Port Lavaca declaring April is 2024 Fair Housing Month. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And not opposed, motion passes. Right, we move to agenda item number 9, consider resolution number R-03-1124-3 of the city of Port Lavaca appointing a chief appraiser to calculate taxes for the 2024 tax year. Jody?
Believe it or not, Mayor and Council, we're going to be starting looking at budget here in the next month or so. And one of the first things we'll need to do is to consider this resolution. We're designating the chief appraiser of Allen County Appraisal District for his duly designee to authorize them to calculate the 2024 tax rates and pass this resolution, get this back to them so they can get started on that.
It's the election.
What?
We're talking about the chief appraiser.
That's not an election.
It's not elections. No, Paul,
Oh, okay. New one.
his name is Paul State.
Oh, okay. Well, he's been working over
He's
there
been
already.
working,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesse retired.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he still does a little.
No, he's
No,
going now.
he's completely out now.
And he's
Gonna be the mayor of Seadrift.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was gonna mention that, then I said, I don't know if I should.
He's not opposed.
Yeah.
Jody,
Huh?
resolution, you got 2023.
Yes, Manny's got it corrected. I saw that. But it is for 2024.
Yes. This is a new thing that's required
Yeah.
by statute where you have to designate somebody to calculate the taxes.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of just approving the resolution.
They're by contract, they are to do it, but we still got to go through this.
Let's get it done. Need a motion.
A motion that we approve the resolution number R-031-323-3 to have somebody calculate our taxes.
Well, chief appraiser or his designee.
As presented.
Not just anybody. Yeah.
Second. So we have a motion and a second approving resolution number R-031124-3. The city of Port Lavaca appointing a chief appraiser to calculate taxes for the 2024 tax year as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes. All right, now we get to the big one. Consider resolution number R-031124-4, the city of Port Lavaca suspending the April 4th, 2024 effective date of AEP Texas Incorporated requested rate change to permit the city time to study the request and to establish reasonable rates, approving cooperation with the cities served by AEP Texas and authorizing intervention in AEP Texas Incorporated's request rate change proceeding before the commission, hiring Lloyd Goslink attorneys and consulting Gosslink's attorney and consulting services to negotiate with the company and direct any necessary litigation and appeals requiring reimbursement of the city's rate case expenses, finding that the meeting at which this resolution is passed is open to the public and as required by law and requiring notice of this resolution to the company and legal counsel. Jody?
B. Strauss is here. She can come up and she's an AEP.
I
And she can tell
we
us
put
all about
everything in
this.
it. We covered all our grounds.
We do a filing to adjust our rates every 4 years. And the city of Lavaca is original citizen with the Public Utility Commission. That's why you're acting on this. So we're fine with the suspension. We're fine with the denial. We just don't want you to accept it. Accepting means those rates go into effect without any kind of review and back and forth with entities. So we're fine with the suspension. Now the process will be with PEC and Goslink and all the interveners into this process. That'll take a couple months.
Basically gives our taxpayers, our homeowners a little extra time for the
Yeah.
rates getting.
Well, the last time we had a rate increase, a rate change was in 2019. So this is like I said, 4-year process. Very wordy.
It's been pretty reasonable.
Yeah. So anyway, if y'all have any questions on me, I'd be happy to answer.
The details are hidden in all those words. so.
Yes.
Who wants to give our ratepayers a break?
Y'all saw the filing. I know Mayor got that and Jody, so it's
Yeah.
lengthy.
Yeah.
What it means is get ready, because here we come for you.
You know, the good news is there's a charge that's dropping off from back when we were still regulated, not deregulated. And that's dropping off the end of the year.
What does that amount to? $5 or something?
It yeah, it was $5 or something. Yes, it is. It's impactful.
Yes.
There's
Every
some
little
people
bit
that's a lot.
So that's in a nutshell, this is a.
We're going up 50, but we're gonna give you 5 of it back.
That'd be it. There's a silver lining to all of it.
Time to do something for you.
There's a lot of silver lining in all of it.
For
What
$5.
have you been drinking?
The silver lining is how they transmit the electricity to you. Aluminum.
That would be more efficient.
That's the big part of it. The electricity's pretty cheap. It's the transmission fees that get you.
How we do business.
So,
Make a motion, we pass this resolution suspending the April 4th, 2024 effective date of AEP Texas State. Requested rate change to permit the city time to study the request and establish reasonable rates.
As presented.
Second.
We have to give you a hard time.
No, do it. Go ahead.
So we have a motion and a second approving the resolution number R 031124 4, the city of Port Lavaca suspending the April 4th, 2024 effective date of AEP Texas Incorporated's requested rate change to permit the city time to study the request and to establish reasonable fees and everything else that was presented. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign?
Give a sticker for the most wordiness.
You've seen a lot of them.
I know, mine was simple. Mine was simple. Thank you for action.
So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? And none opposed, motion passes.
Wouldn't do you any good anyway.
That's few people some good. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, consider resolution number R 031124 5 of the city of Port Lavaca to establish a new bank account at First National Bank entitled Parks Donation for the purpose of receiving donations that will be for park improvements and recreation. Jody?
Mayor, council, recall that we brought this before council back in January. And at that time, the council asked us to come up with a policy regarding the use of these funds. And we did, and we ran that through the Parks Board. We did not have a Parks Board quorum in February, so we had to wait till the March meeting. Before you, in your pack, came up with a couple of things I want to note, under the definitions. I mean, these funds will be used in designated public parks, and that's defined as those parks that are listed in chapter 32 of the Parks and Recreation, Article 3, Parks Designation, Section 44 of the City of Port Lavaca Code of Ordinances. So, you know, that way we don't have to change this resolution anytime we add or delete a park. It just refers to those designated public parks that are elsewhere in our Code of Ordinances. Then in defining maintenance, general and specific repairs of park facilities, cleaning services, mowing, watering, and upkeep of landscaping grounds, upkeep of utilities such as plumbing, electrical, wiring, etc., graffiti removal, ensuring proper bins, collection schedules, and general cleanliness, regular inspections and correction and repairs of safety hazards. And the policy specifically says on page 2 that the park donation fund shall not be used for any of the following expenses, repairs, or maintenance activities of any kind, salaries and benefits, normal operating expenses, utilities, advertising, or promotion activities. And the use of funds that are eligible are capital improvement projects within any of the City of Port Lavaca designated public parks, purchase and installation of the following amenities within any of the City of Port Lavaca designated public parks, new trees, landscaping, irrigation, new picnic tables, benches, shade structures, specialty park amenities, educational and wayfinding signage, seasonal decorations. Recreational programs to be sponsored by the City of Port Lavaca and held within a designated public park, or special park events to be sponsored by the City of Port Lavaca and held within a designated public park. So this is the policy that we presented to the Parks Board, and they are recommending approval. And
So moved.
yeah, and again, you know, we're establishing this bank account. Also in our, budget, we will have a parks, donation fund that the 100%, that will be funded using 100% of the deposits into this parks donation bank account. With that bank account, then we are able to collect donations using convenient online methods such as Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, and PayPal.
I'll second it.
Jody, would this also,
That was so convoluted.
be the bank account if some of the industry and
Any
trust funds?
any
want to
cash,
donate?
any cash donations, yes. Now, we're independently
More
working.
like grant money, but it's done in a
If it's,
donation form.
if it's a cash donation money, yeah, we're independently working. It's a little more complicated, but working on a policy that would address any like in-kind donations or, somebody wanted to buy something, donate something physical and donate that, that's a little more, because we may not want it, whatever. But this is for cash, cash donation.
It sounds to me like that as convoluted and as around all the verbiage, that you better know what you're giving the money for.
You're giving money for the parks to be used in the designated amenities into the designated park, any one of the designated parks in the city. of Lavaca.
It got merged into the general fund and
Yes,
it's harder to manage that.
those are eligible uses of the funds. Yeah.
All right.
Trees. Instead of old trees.
Why did you just say everything?
But it isn't everything.
It is a.
They want to use the.
I know, I'm just being.
That nature.
So we're being very, very
We're gonna
we're being as specific as we can.
nitpicky, yes, that's exactly what we're doing, is being nit.
Can we quote you on that?
Let's vote on this and get it. We have a motion and a second approving resolution number R-031124-5, the city of Fort Lockton established a new bank account at First National Bank entitled Park Donation for the purpose of receiving donations that will be used specifically for parks improvement and recreation. Say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Right, move to agenda item number 12. Consider the request of the Harbor's Children's Science and Victims Center for closure of streets adjacent to 215 West Railroad Street for the annual hosting of the Celebrate the Child Picnic on Saturday, April 6, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The streets to be closed are North Benavides Street from the rear of the County Library driveway to West Railroad Street and West Railroad Street from North Benavides to Ann Street. Colin, you want to present this?
Sure. Mayor Council,
You'll be there, won't you?
I will be. This is to coincide with National Child Abuse Awareness Month in April. They have this annually, or we have it annually. They used to have it at the bayfront, and they prefer to have it in front of the actual car ride.
That's good.
Very nice event. If any of you want to mark that date on your calendar.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Alan, second.
And Alan, okay, thank you.
We have a motion and a second approving the request of the Harbor Children's Center for closure of the streets adjacent to 215 West Railroad Street for the annual hosting of the Celebrate the Child Picnic on April 6, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. All right, we move to agenda item 13, consider a new revised interlocal cooperation contract between the City of Port Lavaca Municipal Court and the Texas Department of Public Safety for participating in the failure to appear program due to changes occurring in the 88th legislative session. Andy, explain this on the legislature.
Okay, Mayor, Council, this is a revised agreement due to the changes in the legislative session. for those of you that, are y'all familiar with the failure to appear?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what this program does, it's a tool that the Department of Public Safety helps courts if by denying a renewal of a driver's license or issuance of a new driver's license, should there be a warrant for that individual. When a warrant is issued by the court, a report is turned in to the Department of Public Safety. And they will flag that person's name. So either the driver's license is good for 8 years. So in between that time, they're gonna wind up going in for renewal of the driver's license. And if it's flagged, then it will be denied until they can take care of that warrant in court. So it's a very good tool. We've had it many years. But again, there have been some changes. So they're just trying to put the proper language into the program.
Is that an informational item or is that something?
No, it's a interlocal agreement.
Make a motion, we accept this, local corporation cooperation contract between the city of Port Lavaca, District Court, and the Department of Public Safety.
A second.
Approval of the So we have a motion and a second approving an interlocal cooperation contract between the city of Port Lavaca Municipal Court and the Texas Department of Public Safety for participating in the failure to appear program as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes.
Thank you, council.
Right, we moved to agenda item 14, consider request of the fire department to declare city property as surplus. Specifically, the old Cascade compressed air system and authorize donation of the same to the Texas A&M Helping Hands Program, who in turn will donate it to the Port O'Connor Beach Volunteer Fire Department. Joe, sounds like a long way around to donate some.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, we purchased a new a Cascade system this past fiscal year. With our old one, we want to go ahead and donate it to the Helping Hands Program, A&M, in which they'll donate it to it's supposed to be Port O'Connor Volunteer Fire Department.
And can we specify to A&M, to the forestry?
Yes, we did. There's a sheet on the back page, handout. We requested to go to.
Okay, but they could change that if they wanted.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. Right, we have a motion and a second, approving the request of the fire department to declare city property as surplus, specifically the old Cascade compressed air system, authorizing the donation of the same to the A&M Forest Service Helping Hands Program as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Joe. Move then to agenda item number 15, consider recommendation of the planning board for approval of a request from John and Lori Leal of 108 Evening Point, lot 357, property ID 90097, Redfish Retreat subdivision for a variance to the city code of ordinance, chapter 12. Seven Trade Code, sections 12 to 24, building setbacks. Derek?
I apologize, these were not included in the packet, but for the second reading, I'll make sure that the entire packet that was sent to the planning board will be included. Okay, the request is for the front building setbacks. As you can see on that first page, it does show. Let's see, in the back, behind the house, you can see a bluff line. They consider this as a buffer area between the house and the water. In other words, no construction could be done there, so that creates undue hardship for the people that own property in that area. So therefore, staff, the HOA for that area, and then also the planning board recommended approval of the variance as requested.
Is the HOA in effect for Redfish Retreat?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And they basically, they were waiting on the city to approve, for them to approve, and I think they had originally asked for greater, but
We do have a
minimum of 35-foot setback.
Yeah, and I think I may get with the developer with that whole property when they actually get ready to develop that. They still have to develop that area, the road, all the infrastructure and everything, but when other people decide to start building out there, I think it'd be better just to do it all at one time, one meeting,
This particular section
get
of
that area knocked out at once.
So move.
We do have a street there, right?
there, it's just gravel. Page room yet,
Oh, my God.
but they need this for their planning.
So does it look like other people that build in that, I'm sorry, Derek.
No, that's, I'm sorry.
Other people that build in that area, are they they're gonna need a similar setback because of that bluff, right?
Right, and that's what I was saying. Once they develop that area and other people were going to start wanting to build in that area, then I'm going to recommend to the developer to bring that whole area.
Okay.
And just do it all at one time, so that way we don't have to come each individual lot.
Yeah, okay, that makes it kind of.
Because they all have done
Second it.
hardship.
Thank you, Derek. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Even though it was like, no worry about it. It's good.
So,
You didn't have it in the packet, but that's okay.
oh, yeah, I apologize about
We
that.
forgive you this time. A motion and a second, approving the recommendation of the planning board. And approving the request of John and Lori Leal of 108 Evening Lane at Redfish Retreat subdivision. For a setback as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passed. Item number 16, consider recommendation of the planning board for approval of a tire and automotive shop to be located on the corner of Independence Drive and Half League Road. Property ID 65209, located in the Laurel Acres subdivision.
One more time.
Is this gonna be a place where they just have a lot of tires stacked up out in front, like we have a
Yes,
number?
well, they'll make sure to paint them too.
A little higher end. I had questions also.
Do you have any color recommendations?
Well, could we do something about, we have so many of them in the city, and I've had complaints. Because he said, we've got all of these tire places,
Mhm.
they got tires stacked up everywhere, and it just gives the city an appearance of clutter. And they don't, they weren't impressed with, because, oh yeah, we've got one here, and there's one here, and there's one here, and they've got the tires stacked all over the place.
Well, you get
Well,
to see
I
every
mean,
day, it's right over here.
Talk to Jody about that for code enforcement. That's a separate issue.
Yeah, I'll get with you on that. Yeah. You know where to find me?
It's just that I've heard it so many times that I'm kind of tired of hearing it.
Well, this company, in the recommendation, in the request, it did state in there that they have a truck that comes every 2 weeks to pick up the tires.
Don't they stop by over there at HEB by that?
Well, I don't have any control over that, but and I will say, the gentleman that owns the company and the applicant is here. So, but anyway, they also have company, stores in Victoria as well.
Yeah, it was
So
Crestwood, is that right?
Now, like I said, he's here if y'all have any questions for him.
The store in Victoria, is it off of Crestwood?
Yeah, one on.
Yeah, it's a nice store. There's no tires hanging around.
Business card or?
Yes, I do.
You present that to our city secretary so we can
Yeah, you need to talk to that guy over there by HEB and see if you can't haul some of his tires off. That's a mess.
If they're painted, we don't take them.
Huh?
If they're painted, we take them.
Well, yeah, they got a bunch of painted ones over there too.
Well, I like the Christmas tree concept.
Painted tires.
This is for,
They do seasonal stuff, so.
we're not approved.
Yeah, this is a
Plan.
recommendation, the
Yeah.
concept.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They didn't mention that in the agenda item.
So I know that concern is about the tires. We don't do that. We told them we kind of lace them outside and we do have trucks that every 2 weeks, our own truck that comes by the facilities and picks them up. And like, if we have it here, we'll take it back to Victoria and put it in a container over there.
Right.
So we're not gonna have inventory outside. It's gonna be inside. We're not that shop. So
Okay.
And this is not something that's gonna happen tomorrow. It's probably a year or two.
down the road, yes, now,
This is your concept plan.
Correct.
How far down the road?
maybe 2 years.
Oh,
So presently, we're purchasing Bruce's Automotive to move into Port Lavaca, so we're getting that facility and gonna renovate some of that. And then move into this one later on down the road.
That's good. I'm excited about that. 2 years from now.
Well, that's much better sounding than some of the things that you've driven around town, you've seen, you know, that.
Oh, I did see the wall gone, the wall when I came into town, there was a wall of tires last time I came, it's gone this time,
Yeah.
but some improvement there.
I don't know what that, I think they collected tires from somewhere else and brought them in and put them.
He didn't have that many tires.
You have an example of what not to do. That's a good start.
Do they still have that pile behind there next to that house that the people that live there? I mean, they had a mountain of tires there.
You gave a great presentation to the planning board and they bring like controls pretty. And also. So he was ready for tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, on the pages provided to y'all, the first one, it kind of shows the layout of the parking lot and where the building's gonna be placed within that property.
Right.
And then the second one kind of shows you the layout of where everything's gonna be on the interior. On the interior, on the backside of the building is where they were talking about, that's where the tire storage is gonna be. It's gonna be on the inside of the building.
Here, what exactly are we approving? A concept plan?
Yes. And this is gonna be for commercial use, because that area currently is, in our, plan is, multifamily.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the recommendation of the planning board and approve the concept plan of a tire and automotive shop as presented.
Yes.
You need a motion.
I need a motion. and a
I'll make
second.
it.
Second.
Or let Daniel have it. Yeah,
Second.
that way he can prove he was here tonight.
We have a motion and a second approving the recommendation of the planning board and for approval of a tire and automotive shop concept plan to be located at the corner of Independence and Half League Road as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign.
Is it right next to that?
Here.
danger?
None opposed, motion
Yeah, it's
passes.
a small subdivision next to it.
I've asked for opposed and you piped up.
It's, no.
Almost
Thank you.
down as opposed.
Thank you.
All right, our next order of business is announcement by the mayor that city council will retire at the closed session. We had debated since Rosie's not here, this is an evaluation of an employee not to have it, but
Okay.
there's four of us here. I think I've had a request from two council members to go ahead and have the closed session. On advice of our attorney, our city manager cannot not be entitled to their pay raise retroactively if we do it next month.
Yeah, I mean, it just needs to, we're gonna wait, we just need to get it over with.
I don't think it'll create a big problem for anyone if we go ahead and
Closed session it.
close session and approve, not approve, but to review the city manager's evaluation.
Right.
And the council members that aren't here can go in at their leisure and discuss it individually. So I will announce at this time that council will begin its closed session on 11th day of March, 2024 at 7:39 p.m. I want Jody in here as we begin.
See you later, Squirt.
I will leave.
See, I want Jody in here to.
It's good.
Probably clocking money too. No. Okay, I will announce at this time that council has completed its closed session at 8:03 PM on this 11th day of March 2024. And we will move then to agenda item 18, return to open session, taking the action necessary with regard to matters in closed session. And we do have a matter to address. Went into closed session for evaluation of the city manager and to approve any pay raises necessary due to our performance. So I would entertain a motion if there is one at this time.
Well, after discussion, city manager evaluation, very good evaluation. The council has determined that we want to give her a
Yeah, you move.
You move that.
move that we, there you go, a 5% increase beginning next pay period. Which happened.
Second. Making it effective for 1/20.
No.
Next.
April. It's next pay period, okay. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second approving a 5% pay raise for the city manager effective at the next pay period. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? You're none opposed, motion passes. Okay, I think that concludes our business and it's.
I make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn.
That was quick.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
We keep these.